Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Coming up on today's show, we have a Landon Dickerson injury update on this fine Wednesday. This player has changed the narrative about himself, and Jalen Carter is being treated like one of the best defenders in the National Football League through 3 games of his career. First, though, by the time Sunday comes around for our watch party against the Commanders, we'll be going live an hour before kickoff. Can we get to 54,000 subscribers to honor this legend? Jeremiah Trotter, the Axeman. We're currently 503 people away from that number, so hit that subscribe button and you win out at the end of the day because you get daily Eagles updates. Let's begin with the Landon Dickerson injury update. We know that he left Monday night's game against the Buccaneers after pancaking a defender, and he left because of a knee injury. He was questionable to return at the time, did not come back. He downplayed the injury this week after meeting with the media and said, you know what, it's not really a big deal. I will be fine. Hopefully that's the case because this Eagles offensive line would not be the same without him, as evidenced by the numbers that he's putting up this year and what he did last year. More on that in a moment. First, though, let's pivot to today's poll question. Is Landon Dickerson the best left guard in football? He's certainly up there. Y for yes or N for no. Dickerson in 2023. What a find he's been for Philadelphia. He tore his ACL final year at Alabama. They went on to win the national championship. Eagles still take a chance on him, and it's reaped massive dividends. He's played a total of 198 snaps this year, 105 pass blocking snaps, only 2 penalties, 1 sack allowed, 0 hits allowed on Jalen Hurts, 6 pressures for Landon Dickerson given up this year. That's not the greatest number, but he's been good other than that. Also, this Eagles offensive line has had some protection breakdowns. Pro Football Focus grades. Let's hone in on those here. Overall grade of 71.8, a pass blocking grade of 63.1, a run blocking grade of 73.9, and he's on this contract right now that runs through 2024. So this year and next year, the remaining years of his deal, if he continues to play at this level, in which on the brotherly shove, formerly known as the tush push, he somehow comes out of the pile on his feet, he continues to play like that, he could land a lofty contract extension after this year, and obviously going up against a Washington defensive line that's very, very talented, featuring players like Daron Payne, Montez Sweat, and Chase Young. It's important for this Eagles offensive line to bring their A game, but for them to be healthy and Landon Dickerson to be a part of that front 5. Speaking of that game, join us on Sunday. Our pregame show for our watch party begins at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. for those of you on the West Coast, so make sure you wake up with us. More to come on today's show because we're only getting started, and if you're a real one, you'll continue to hang out with us. First, though, today's show is sponsored by AG1. This is a product that I drink every single day, and if you're looking for a convenient and comprehensive daily nutrition option, AG1 is your only answer. If you use the link down below, not only do you get the benefits of daily use, which includes better gut health, supporting your immune system, boosting your focus and your energy, you also get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. I simply mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water. I either drink it first thing every morning or after my workouts to replace what I sweat out. 1 small scoop of AG1 includes 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Less than 1 gram of sugar, too, per serving. So it tastes great, it's great for you, and on average per month, it costs less than $3 a day. My people, it's time for you to prioritize and optimize your health, and there's not a better way to do it than with AG1. This is a sponsor that means a lot to me because I'm very picky about what I put into my body. I went on a 300-day running streak earlier this year. My new streak is past 128 days, and I want to continue to give you great content. AG1 allows me to do that because I'm feeling great despite our watch parties going crazy. DrinkAG1.com/chatsports. So from Landon Dickerson, interior offensive lineman, to Jalen Carter, interior defensive lineman. Jaylen Carter already in 3 games this year as a rookie is being respected, game planned against, and treated like one of the most feared defensive linemen in the National Football League. You look at his numbers so far in his first 3 games: 1.5 sacks, 5 combined tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, 15 total pressures, 6 quarterback pressures when being double teamed. That is second in the NFL, and he's been able to have all of this production despite playing less than 50% of the snaps. And speaking of snaps, that's what I want to focus on next here. Because you look at how Jalen Carter compares against the best defensive tackle of this generation in Aaron Donald. 89 snaps for the rookie out of Georgia, 15 pressures. Aaron Donald, almost doubling up on that, 158 snaps and 14 pressures. That is wild. Chat stats portion of the show. Not only is Jalen Carter second among defensive tackles in total quarterback pressures, but according to NextGen Stats, he's pressured the quarterback against double team blocks 6 times this year. I mentioned earlier, second in the NFL, that only trails Micah Parsons. And the highest graded defenders in the game through 3 weeks. You have Nick Bosa, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, always in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Jalen Carter at number 3 with a 93.2 overall Pro Football Focus grade. And then Javon Holland, the very good safety from the Miami Dolphins, right behind him at 93.1. Like Jalen Carter, 93.2. He's just 0.7 behind Nick Bosa for being the highest graded defender in the league. And then you go to the overall highest graded players on either side of the football this year. Tyreek Hill popping off, 94. Devon Achane, 94. Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and then Jalen Carter checking in. It's wild what the rookie has been able to do, and I can't wait to see him continue to grow. And really, how the Eagles are developing defensive linemen right now, it's really impressive what they've been able to do. Now, make sure you subscribe if you want more informative, entertaining, insightful Eagles analysis and coverage right here on YouTube. We're the largest independently run Eagles channel right here on these YouTube streets. So you're making a mistake if you haven't subscribed, because if you haven't subscribed, you ain't alive. So earlier at the start of the show, I said there's a Philadelphia Eagle who is changing the narrative, changing the way that people think about him. It's Britton Covey. Believe it or not, statistically, he has been one of the best punt returners in football since last year. I've criticized him a little bit. I've said he's looked slow. He's looked small. He's looked a little bit indecisive. But he's really started to turn things around to a certain degree where the speed is picking up, the play speed has increased, his vision is getting a little better, and his feel for the game has improved. Since week 13 of 2022, check out where Britton Covey ranks among all punt returners in the NFL. 291 punt return yards. That's number 1 in the league. 14.6 punt return average. That is first in the league with a minimum of 15 returns. So a large body of work there, of course. He has 13 punt returns of 10-plus yards. That's number 1 in the NFL. 9 punt returns of 15-plus. Also atop all returners at the NFL level. 5 punt returns of 20-plus yards. That's first. And 4 punt returns of 25-plus yards. You wouldn't think that, but the numbers paint a pretty interesting story that Britton Covey, contrary to belief, is getting the job done. So when you look at those numbers, when you hear me break those down, has your view of Covey changed? Because for me, 52-yard return against the Bucs, I'm like, that's the speed. That's the elusiveness that we saw at Utah. I said that during the watch party. He continues to do that. Yet another weapon found by general manager Howie Roseman. So make sure you share those thoughts down below. And as always, thanks for watching the program here.